The Instant Shock Power Hour Challenge. As you can see behind me, we have our test subject, Carl, who doesn't know what he's in for. All that he's been told is that he's warming up now on his own to test his vertical jump. So we're gonna test his vertical to start, and then we're gonna go through the Instant Shock Power Hour Challenge and see how many inches we can gain on his vertical jump.
How's it going, y'all? This is Carl Cannon II out of Rockland, California, down here at UCI with my boy Adam Folker. He's teaching me how to jump higher and teaching me some great warm-ups so that I don't pull anything. So basically, I started playing organized sports when I was in 5th grade. I started off with basketball and basically played basketball and football all the way through and a little bit of baseball. And then 7th grade was when I was introduced to volleyball. And from then on out, it was all 3 sports. It was football, basketball, volleyball, summer, rinse and repeat.
So our first test is the standing vertical test. So what you're gonna do is just stand right underneath the sticks, jump up, and without a step, try and touch as high as you can. Nice. So we'll go 3 tries. Nice. Cool. So what we'll do is mark that stick as the highest you reach on the standing vertical. So I'll put a piece of tape on this one. So next test is approach vertical. So whatever you feel that you can jump the highest, and you got 3 tries. Nice. 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 So we have your standing vertical and your approach vertical. As you go to jump, whether you're standing vertical or your approach vertical, right before you jump, inhale and hold your breath as you jump. Now what that's going to do is tighten your core, especially when you're approaching. It's going to allow you to stay taller, okay? Instead of bending over. So that's the first thing. The second thing is your descent into your jump. Especially on your standing vertical, start out with your hands directly stretched out over your head. And before you jump, you're gonna throw them down and descend as fast as possible. So the standing vertical, and it's the same with the approach too, okay? The faster that you're gonna get down, the higher you're gonna be able to jump. All right, the next thing is lace up your shoes tighter. We don't want your foot sliding around in your shoe as you go to jump. You're gonna lose a ton of power. Pull them, yeah, tighten them up. Pull them a little bit tighter and tighten them up. That way your foot's not gonna slide around. Okay, the next thing is on your approach. As you approach the sticks, you took about 2 or 3 steps. So instead, let's take it back a bit more and let's get some more speed. So it's kind of like a fast break, you're going to dunk, okay? So we're gonna start off slow, and as we approach the sticks, we're gonna speed up. And this faster speed, it's gonna allow you to descend into your jump faster, which is gonna allow you to ascend faster and jump higher. Now let's get into the warm-up and the drills. So the first thing is your ankle mobility. So we're gonna wanna increase your ankle mobility. So the first drill is called the crawl to crab. And how we're gonna do it is we're gonna start on all 4s. And basically, just keeping your feet on the ground, we're just gonna move back and forth, okay? So just keeping your feet on the ground and just going back and forth. Let's try that out. Try and keep your feet flat on the floor. Yep, there you go.
The crawl to crab was, it was interesting at first, but it was probably the easiest one out of all of them, and it really felt good, and by the time I was done with it, I could really feel my ankles loosening up.
So take a rest, and we'll do 2 more sets of that. Awesome, how's that feel?
Great.
Okay, next one we're gonna do is we're gonna loosen up the shoulders and the upper body, because obviously when you jump, you're reaching with your arm, okay? So if we can open up that shoulder, especially those lats, you're gonna be able to obviously touch higher. So the drill is, we're gonna do some trap contractions. So both hands over your head. Basically what we're gonna do is contract our traps here, and it's gonna open up our lats, okay? So straight arms, and we're just gonna hold and down, up and down, And just basically reaching as high as possible and contracting those traps, okay? So let's try that out.
So the trap contractions, surprisingly, they actually started feeling like a shoulder workout actually. But once again, another very easy exercise and everything. And it's usually about the second set, halfway through, you really start feeling those lats and everything start to open up and you start feeling more loose in the upper
Really
body
trying to
area.
reach as high as possible. There you go. How's that feel?
Tight, we're good.
Yeah. All right, we'll do 2 more sets of that, take a rest, and then we'll do 2 more sets of that, and then we'll move on to the dynamic warm-up. So whenever you're ready. We'll just start on this line here, make it easy. The first one that we're gonna do is knee to chest into a lunge, okay? Up, and then other leg into the lunge.
You are now listening to sound.
So do 10 of those, so basically down to the other blue line. Really try and reach out with that lunge, get some distance. There you go. When you go up, lean back a bit. You should feel it right in your hip flexor. There you go, really opening up that hip flexor area. All right, the next one we're gonna do is heel to butt into a reverse lunge. Up and switch. So that's gonna open up your quad, stretch out your quad and keep opening up those hips. The next one we're gonna do is sumo squats. Step out, feet about shoulder width apart. Okay, we're gonna bend down, squat as low as possible, and use our elbows to push out on our knees. Take a couple steps. Same thing, okay? And as you go through, you should be starting to get a little bit deeper as you get more towards the end and really open up that groin, those abductors and those adductors.
I would say the hardest part with the dynamic warm-ups would actually be the sumo squats and everything, and the side lunges. My hip flexors are naturally just very tight, so doing those to really warm them up and everything, those were the most resistance that I felt just from my body in general, so those were the hardest for me.
How does that feel?
Getting loose. Getting real loose.
We'll see if you can jump higher. That's the goal here. So the next one is side lunges. So lunge side, up, lunge side. So try and keeping our feet straight, pointed straight ahead. Don't turn and don't turn your feet. Feet pointed straight ahead. Take as wide a step as possible. We're just gonna go side to side. Okay, we don't have to hold it because we're trying to get dynamic here. This one is skipping, okay? So I have a skipping rope for you to use. But sometimes if I don't have a skipping rope, I'll just skip on the spot. And the key to this, what it's gonna do is it's gonna heat up those muscles that we're gonna be using for jumping, and it's gonna create elasticity in your tendons. So just go ahead and you can skip it out. Every time you jump, every time you land, try and land on the balls of your feet. So not your toes, but the balls of your feet. Yeah, that's perfect, exactly. Just take a breather, and we're gonna do 3 sets of that. So the key here is every time you jump, every time you land, try and land on the balls of your feet. And this time what we're gonna do is you can slow it down and jump a little bit higher. And when your feet are in the air, try and point your toes up, okay? Try and point your toes to your shins. Okay, so it's gonna look something like this. Okay, it's a little bit more difficult.
So the first set of skipping was really easy. It's really easy to adjust jumping from your toes and just landing on the balls of your feet and exploding from the balls of your feet instead of your toes. It's the second part that you start to struggle with when you're landing on the balls of your feet, but when you're jumping up in the air and you're pointing your toes up towards the sky or as high as you can, and it kind of throws you off. It feels a little awkward, but just do it a couple times and you'll start to get the hang of it. And workout's going great. As you can see, I'm sweating right now. It may look easy, but I guarantee you it's not easy. When you're doing the jump rope, when he tells you to point your toes up to the sky and land on the balls of your feet, it's really unorthodox, it's kind of tricky, but you gotta stick with it if you want results.
All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is static hip flexor stretch. Hip flexor stretch. So basically it's kind of like the lunges we were doing, but we're just gonna hold it. Okay, we're gonna hold it for 30 seconds. Try and get deeper and you don't have to lean back, but try and really get the stretch right there in your hip flexor. Okay, because these hip flexors, they resist your jump. If you've ever done any sort of jump training and the next day you're sore right in your hips, it's because these hip flexors, as you go to jump, they're resisting your jump. So if we can paralyze these, is what we like to call them, put them to sleep, then you're gonna be able to jump easier because they're not resisting you. So let's get down and do both sides and hold it for 30 seconds. Good. And just arms straight up. Yep. Good. That's perfect. You should feel it right in that hip flexor. Good. All right, get up and shake that out, and let's get ready to retest you. You feel warm? Feel a lot better, huh? Yeah. All right, so the first one that we're gonna retest is the standing. So, a couple key things here to remember is the descent, okay? So step up, look straight up, line yourself right under it, okay? And start with your arms literally straight overhead, okay? We stretched out those lats, okay? So you're gonna start with your arms straight overhead. You're gonna throw them down, okay? Throw them down as fast as possible. And what that's gonna do is speed you up towards the ground, okay? Boom. And for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, okay? So that's gonna make you jump higher, okay? So arms, boom, down. And try and keep your chest tall and proud. So boom, boom, right up, okay? So the first tape mark is your original standing vert test. So we're aiming to at least hit that, if not do better. There you go. And down and up, down and up. Wow, good, that's really good. So you already beat your approach vertical. So let's see how much more we can add. You've already increased 1, 2, 3, 4 inches you've increased already. Let's see how much more we can get. So, yeah, there you go. And arms straight overhead, and let's really throw them down, and boom, right back up. Boom, here we go, we got this. Up, there you go. 2, 3, 4, 5 inches. Wow, okay, cool. That's really good. That's awesome. That's 5 inches on your standing vertical in under an hour. Next, let's measure your approach vertical. So this really resembles like you're in a game, okay? And you're on a fast break or you have some sort of approach where you can dunk, okay? So let's start back, almost like a high jumper. So you see high jumpers, they take their approach, okay? So we're gonna take an approach, and as we get closer to the stick, we're gonna speed up, okay? So we wanna hit our fastest speed right before we jump, okay? Call this the maximum controlled velocity. The fastest that you can jump at under control, the higher you're gonna jump, okay? And our last two steps, the penultimate step and the ultimate step, are extremely important because this is where we descend, okay? We spoke about this before. The faster that you can descend and get your feet under you, the higher you're gonna be able to jump, okay? So the three main things I want you to keep in mind are speeding up, okay? So go fast, okay? The next thing is your last two steps, okay? Descending into that jump. The faster you can get down, the higher you're gonna be able to jump. And the last one is keeping your chest proud, okay? So a lot of guys, what they do is they'll approach and they'll go to jump and they'll bend over, okay? We don't wanna do this. Keep your chest proud, okay? You're good, you're good. Good. Now, a couple things is you're hopping into your jump, okay? So instead of, approaching it, you're kind of doing a pre-hop, okay? So you're kind of like hop and then hop, okay? So instead of that, start, and as you approach it, speed up. Your last two steps should be the fastest, okay? So before that, you shouldn't be coming up and back down before that. So your last two steps should be the fastest, and don't hop into it, okay? Let's see what we got. Good, good, that was better. That was much better, much better. Yeah, you felt that. Yeah, you got rid of that hop. There's even still a little bit of a hop, but you're already jumping a lot higher. Now, you still have a little tiny bit of a hop, but you sped up that time, and your last two steps were your fastest. Good, good. That's all right, that's all right. So this time, I don't want you to jump, okay? I just want you to start where you were starting. I want you to run and just get your feet under you, okay? So you don't have to jump. Don't jump and reach. Just approach it and work on getting that first hop out, okay? So it should look something like this. Faster, 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 last two steps, and just stick it, okay? So, and keep, in your mind, keep that hop. Let's eliminate that hop. Good, that was much better. That was much better. And you jumped too. Good, that was a lot better though. I want you to focus on that last gather step, okay? I want you to focus on that heel to toe, or heel to the ball of your foot, rather. Heel to the ball of your foot. I want you to keep that in mind. I want you to stretch out, okay? I want you to stretch out on that penultimate step and really descend in your jump, okay? So this step right here, boom, boom, okay? Really stretch out and don't jump. Okay. Don't jump, okay? Just stick it. That's good. That was a lot better. That was a lot better. Good, good, good. There we go. All right. Last two steps. Quick, quick. Boom, 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 boom. Good, good, good. We're all right. Good job. All right, so let's see what we got here. How much did we increase on the standing? 5 inches. So this was your original, and that is now. So from white to white is 1 inch. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 inches.
So for the standing vertical, I actually gained 5 inches after going through the workout and the warm-ups and everything like that and the dynamic stretching. And my running approach, we actually gained 7 inches after going through the workout, dynamic stretching and everything like that. It was fun, but I'm tired. I'm exhausted.
So as you can see, the Instant Shock Power Hour Challenge, we got Carl here jumping 5 inches higher on your standing vertical and 7 inches higher on your approach vertical.
You gotta have faith in the Fulker system, that's all it is. I guarantee if I keep doing this every day, by the end of the summer, I'll be dunking.